Hi everyone, I'm Cypher and welcome back to the channel. Right now I'm designing a brand new shield for ESP32 project and it's going to include some powerful new features, especially RFID and NFC support. So I thought this is actually the perfect time to revisit one of my older projects and get some hands-on experience with NFC and RFID again before integrating it into the new design. Last time I worked with PN532 it was for the Nulltag project. Nulltag was actually a pretty interesting project. It had some cool features and a lot of potential, but honestly, it wasn't good enough in my opinion. It didn't reach the level I wanted, so I never open sourced it. But hopefully by the end of this video, that's going to change. I want to rebuild Nulltag properly, and this time we're not using a ready-made module. We're going fully custom, designing a completely custom PCB around the PN532. For the hardware design, I have something a little ambitious in mind. Instead of using a single board, I'm planning a 3-piece PCB design that will connect together. The first board will handle the display, the microcontroller, and all the supporting components. The main board is the brain. It has a full color TFT display with an ST7789 driver, powered by an ESP32S3, so the UI is fast, smooth, and actually usable. There is also a 3-way switch for quick mode selection, proper power management, and even a CC1101 on board for future expansion. The second board is dedicated entirely to the PN532. No breakout module this time, just the raw chip and supporting components. And the third board is the antenna, a fully custom 13.56 MHz PCB antenna, and honestly, this is the most critical part of the entire project. Before we continue with the hardware, let's take a look at the features. First of all, we now have a full color TFT display instead of that tiny OLED, so the UI is cleaner, more informative, and way more satisfying to use. Now let's go through the features. At the most basic level, it reads a nearby NFC or RFID card and shows the important data. Technically, it captures the UID, tries to identify the card family like Classic, Ultralight, N-Tag or Desfire, and reads available blocks. Clone has a simple idea: copy one tag to another compatible blank tag. It performs a full read from the source tag, then writes to the target. It attempts authentication when required and verifies the right operation. Of course, success depends on compatibility, writable memory, and key access. This one clears tag data where allowed, so you can reset or reuse your card. This feature exports the raw memory of a tag for analysis or backup. It reads sectors, blocks, and logs everything in hex format over serial, including reporting failure when authentication blocks access. Card info quickly tells you what kind of card you're dealing with. It reads the UID, checks the length and behavior, probes capability indicators, and classifies the card family into something human readable. This one makes access bits understandable. Instead of raw bytes, it translates MyFair access conditions into casual permissions. Disruptor runs aggressive authentication and writes patterns to test how a tag behaves under stress. And yes, this can permanently alter a card, so only use disposable test tags you own. With Disrupt Emulator, the device emulates unusual or edge case tag responses. This lets you test how readers or applications handle error, times out, and unexpected behavior. This one is for fast UID scanning mode. It continuously pulls for tags, converts UID bytes into readable hex, logs them, and keeps track of unique detection with live counters. This mode runs key validation and access path testing, strictly for authorized auditing of your own cards. It checks common or default configuration and helps identify weak setup that should be hardened. Card Audit generates a compact security summary. It combines type detection, readable memory sampling, access checks, and consistency validation into a quick diagnostic report. This video is sponsored by NextPCB. If you're working on a custom hardware project, NextPCB is a solid choice for PCB manufacturing. They offer high quality boards, fast production times, and support for everything from simple prototype to advanced multi-layer designs. Check them out through the link in the description, and thanks for the next PCB for supporting the channel. If the antenna isn't tuned properly, nothing else matters. I want to separate everything properly so we can optimize the layout, reduce interference, and make the whole design more modular and smaller. Well, I never designed a completely custom PCB for an NFC and RFID chip before, especially not with a separate antenna board. So this is going to be a real experiment. Hopefully it works. This is the moment of truth. The main board, I'm not worried about that. That part is solid. But the PN532, that's the real question. And at first, it looks promising. The microcontroller detects it over SPI. That's a good sign, but it's not over yet. Detection doesn't mean it actually works. So now, the real test. Let's try scanning an RFID tag. And nothing. No response, no UID, nothing at all. And honestly, this is exactly what I was afraid of. Right now, I'm pretty sure the issue isn't software. It's either the antenna itself or the analog section that's supposed to drive and tune that antenna correctly. I've already gone through documentation multiple times, compared my schematic to the reference design, adjusted the matching components, but still nothing. Everything works, but when it comes to actually generating the RF field, it just doesn't behave the way it should. And with the NFC or RFID, everything depends on proper tuning at the right frequency. If that part is even slightly off, the whole system fails.